I would just give you huge muscles and an insane work capacity on a spin bike. And I'd be like, all right, let's go win some world records. And let's go win a world championship. And what we know is that doesn't. So where is the disconnect between movement as skill and I do a sport and I need to be skilled in my sport? Where's that disconnect? How many free throws does that basketball player take over and over and over, repetition, so that they don't have to worry about it when they're tired, when it's stressful, right? It's an automatic thing. Why aren't we applying that level of motor learning and practice into the gym? Because we still worship the physiology, right? As long as I could just do more work, it's fine. And that is not the case. We're not seeing that we have an opportunity to influence movement learning and movement skill in the gym by refining physiology. And understanding that that's also a diagnostic tool in the real time. So that if we come in and all of a sudden you can't break 90 degrees on your air squat, I'm like, what's going on with that? Let's load it. Let's turn the feet out. Let's get to some arbitrary depth. No. We want to understand that we're using this strength and conditioning platform to make sense of what's going on with my Olympic sprinters. That's what we're doing currently.
Because I remember you said in another interview, don't be heroic, be consistent.
Oh, right.
How do you start making this into like a system, like a way of life? Like, are you looking at like cross training, like sports specific? How do we build this in terms of like sleep, nutrition, diet? Because people think, I go to the gym, I'm fit and healthy, but they can't walk up a flight of stairs. They're out of breath, putting the bins out, but they can maybe like, twat a baseball over a great distance. How do we become 3D fit rather than just that wee narrow channel?
So if I have a critique of Becoming a Supple Leopard, which is 10 years old in April, what I would say is there wasn't room in that book to talk about what you should do in your day-to-day life. What do I do? And what you just described is the same continuation of, we think this is normative hip flexion. This is how much your knee should be able to come to your chest. This is what every doctor says you should be able to do, every chiro, every surgeon. Knee moves this much, joint moves this much. So if you don't do that, what's wrong with you? Why is that? We can become curious. It's not good or bad. We just saw that, something's up with you. You can't do what we think you should be able to do. More importantly, not passively, but in the context of an actual movement, like a squat, like a big step up, something like that, right? We have these objective measures, and those things are based on range of motion of your body expressed in movements like the push-up, like a hip hinge. Okay. We can then take those objective measures and say, well, hey, we actually have some physiologic objective measures that people are comfortable with. Heart rate, resting heart rate. They know what their temperature is. They know what decent blood pressure is. So what we've done is we started to create minimums for people. What's good blood pressure? Well, it's not 120 over 80. 120 over 80 is just average blood pressure, right? Athlete blood pressure is much lower than that. But 120 over 80 gives me a warning mark to say, hey, I should probably pay attention to this, right? It's not emergent. I'm not going to die with 120 over 80, but I can be moving if I start to go above and below that. Well, let's apply some objective measures to our lifestyle. Okay. Now we can begin to say, this is what we think are really good practices applied consistently over long periods of time, make the best performance of our athletes.